One of the kind of big themes for FAANG companies that are a little bit different than some others is almost all of them, as part of their hiring training, really emphasize like to their interviewers that it's not just a quest to like stump you. They really have kind of some more purpose behind their stuff, and so you really might be surprised at how little direct technical questions you might get compared to what you might be fearing potentially in some of the big FANG interviews. A lot of them are really focused on your strategy, your approach, your ability to learn, your ability to troubleshoot and critically think, as well as your ability to kind of like communicate and work with a team. And so, especially as you're thinking about your own examples and picking out scenarios from your experiences, really paying some diligence to where those examples demonstrate your ability there, will also go pretty far. Even if you don't quite hit the technical mark on stuff, because there's so much demand in the market right now, most of the big companies are willing to teach you. For example, when I got hired at AWS, I had never touched AWS before then. I literally, and I was open about it. I told them, I've never done any of this. And I walked into my interview saying, like, I've never actually, worked in an environment that uses AWS, but I read up, like you gave me a week. So I went and studied, and here's what I learned. And here's, what I would do based on what I know, as well as, the types of things that I would approach this with, using my experience in an on-premise or, a DoD environment. And they loved it. I got pretty high marks, essentially a unanimous vote to be hired in, which is pretty uncommon in some cases. So it's not always just about like, do you know the in and outs of every single service in the given platform, and more of just demonstrating essentially that you're a good worker that can learn and adapt and think critically.
Yeah, I would add too that it's they're not going to grade you as much on your AWS knowledge as much as just on your general technical knowledge. Like it sounds like you have previous data center or non-cloud experience, and that'll benefit you, right? Because they're ultimately cloud is still using those technologies, right? It's removed, right? It's just abstracted in a sense. So like a common, and just to add to what Daniel was saying about the interview techniques, a lot of them, they want to be broad or open because then you really can just kind of see how deep the candidate is. So like a perfect example is one that I think was asked almost every single time I was part of an interview is like, the question is, let's say that you're at your computer and you go to Amazon.com, like describe everything that happens from you pressing enter to going, right? And like, if you think about it, of course, you can really get down into the depths of like DNS and HTTPS and web servers and like a host table, like everything, right? So the questions are there to really gauge your depth, and then the subsequent questions will kind of just be to kind of tease out what you know. So your previous knowledge is good because it'll show that kind of that's where let's say that's what you gravitate towards, and kind of show your technical ability or your aptitude, let's say, for the cloud.